Well, I think it's everything. In any role that you're going to be involved in football, information is powerful. So the more prepared that you are, the easier it will be to come up with a decision. It could be media, it could be marketing, it could be coaching, it could be in any aspect of a football team. The decisions end up with a winning result. And those decisions, they cannot be gambles or hopes or emotions. And I think that's where the more information you get, the more preparation that you have, the courses, they really help you towards finding the right call. And almost analyzing that process is part of having a good education in that way. I think football is you hear a lot that football is always the same, and it's probably the biggest error that you can have. I think football is an evolving business. At the moment, is a business that on the pitch goes down to trends, and there are different ways of playing. Sometimes you get possession, sometimes you get into transition game. Now, in the last 2 years, it's been more the focus on the defensive side. In every other department in a football club is exactly the same. Now you got these incredible deals from television that they change the approach of a football club, the different audiences around the world. So everything is always changing. So you have to educate yourself, and you have to try to be on top of those changes and see how you can use them in the best possible way. If you don't carry on educating yourself, you're going to miss out, and somewhere your role is going to end up. Well, is essential. It's essential because there is a passive way of inspiring other people in the club, and that comes from the consistency and the relationships that you got at senior level. For me, it's always important to know that the chairman or the owner of the football club knows why we're doing things. You could lose a game, but if you know why you lost it and in the manner that you lost it, I think you can become better as a football club at the end of it. And that's where the relationship with in every department is essential. But in football, the manager and the owner or the chairman needs to be a really good relationship in order that it can be honest, that you can help each other, in order to share the view. That doesn't mean agreeing all the time. But I think you set in the common goals of the football club, and it sets a way of working that helps every employee or even every fan of the club that follows it. Well, in my case, it helps a lot that I've been a club manager, that I had to lend my players in international football to understand how the manager actually feels. There is a situation where international football and club football don't go hand by hand. So starting from that point of view, I think knowing how the manager at club level feels when the players go away on international is important. And then it's almost trying to learn how to coach a player when you haven't got him there. The coaching time with the player is minimal. You're talking minimal, maybe 3 sessions before a game. And that's why it's important that in my case I do a lot of scouting and I can see the players playing live, because it's almost we're working and we're coaching each other by getting information of the player without working with him. And I think that's been a really interesting part of international football, how you can coach a player from the distance and how you can use that small time with the player in the best possible manner. I think it's to find out what you're good at and what you can bring that is different. And then it's almost throughout my early years in the British game, everyone spoke to me about weaknesses and how to become better at my weaknesses. And I realized that doesn't take you anywhere. I think in sport, and when you're involved in football, in a business that relies on winning or losing, you need to be very, very good at something. So if you are good at something, you need to work to make it even better. And then just hide the weaknesses in terms of not putting yourself in a position where you have to work on something that you're not good at. So my advice would be just to find out what you're good at, where your passion is, and then just work at making it exceptional, as good as you can. And that will always fit in a football club. Well, I always kept a close eye from the distance since I heard it, because I'm always keen on seeing people that they are involved in football, that they had some sort of direction and they've been prepared. I think when I visited the offices today, I was blown away. I think the professionalism, the thought behind it is a structure that I would send my kids to get educated and almost give them the inspiration to be involved in football or in a sports organization. Very impressive in the manner that the programs are detailed, to have that variety. I think it covers everyone. I wanted to be a professional footballer, but I knew that if I couldn't, I would be involved in football in some capacity, and I think these programs and these courses will fit everyone. And that's exciting. I've been blown away if I had to describe it.